great trader and making decisions as a great trader while holding nothing back in the work toward being a better trader will thrust you forward in trading and in life growth. And your data will prove it clearly, factually, and beyond a doubt with your consistency. So as far as trading improvement, of course, it starts in our trading log and journal. It also starts with a routine. Remember, only when we have consistent input can we make appropriate tweaks to the machine, which is our trading system. When they say we are creatures of habit, this is so true. So you want success habits. You want to teach your body exactly how to show up daily for success. When it doesn't happen, when you don't reach success, you tweak it, but you still stay on that same routine. You can also, as a powerful tool, use revision. And this is when at the end of your day, you replay the entire day in your mind, replaying the day, trying to get every moment in from when you woke up to when you're laying down. It's a powerful mind exercise. Now, for the entire day or key parts of this day, as you're playing them over and recalling them, if you created any undesired outcomes, you want to replay that exactly as you desire, as you wish it would have transpired. And again, this is an incredible practice to do before bed, as well as those 3 daily tasks that we talked about in the last show. Want more information on that? Look up revision. Again, I'm always referencing Neville Goddard. He talks about it, but a few other individuals talk about it too. Just replaying that day. Now, from your routine, your trade log and your journal, you'll be able to match up what's not working and the environment around you of what didn't work. And this helps with the system. It helps it improve. So let me just tell you what I did. I want to give you some ideas on how you can create an improvement system. Keep in mind, the less moving parts, the better. Think about a 1,000-piece puzzle versus a 10-piece puzzle. So as you build, think about condensing stuff, right? Think about adding things in that were stagnant in your life. A lot of stuff I did when I started, I don't do anymore. I outgrew its usage or it became so ingrained that I could kind of take my focus off of it. It was just habitual. My system, it started with my morning routine. It took me about 95 days until I built a sleep routine in which a 5 a.m. wake up was consistently possible for me. And it wasn't easy. The first few weeks, I rarely got up at 5. I hit the snooze. I tried cold showers. I put the phone and the alarm on the other side of the room. It was painful until just after 3 months, and I started to wake up before the alarm. And my point is, you need a morning routine to align your body with a process. Although you think it's, cool to the spur of the moment plan, the subconscious is worried and it's already planning. With a lack of life structure, you are really just choosing to ignore or default your options. With structure, you save mind power and energy. The goal with a morning routine is providing your body with, which is probably more animal and primitive than you actually think. It's providing it with structure. The really important thing is if you are trading and working, then you definitely need this. As this routine starts to sink into you that consistency of the starting time of the day is going to be the foundation. Now, I personally can't say, what worked for me outside of just pure grit, just my dedication to getting up as far as changing my sleep and my awakening patterns. But I can offer you this. If you have something to look forward to and to take action on that can motivate you, it will help you build the habit of waking up. For me, I love to connect with God. And I know, if I'm not up by 5, I have to cut into that time because I have some other, family daddy related tasks. One of the concepts that we used in the MIB accountability group and mastermind is a principle of Napoleon Hill. And he mentions it in Think and Grow Rich. And it's the mastermind principle. And he says, when people meet, or when you set a solid place to meet with God, the energy starts to grow there, the spiritual energy. So, in the morning, I try not to be late. The clock goes off and I'm, up and at 'em. I'm like the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Can't be late. So if you have trouble getting up, maybe have some fun action to take on immediately. That helped me. So on top of the 95 days building my sleeping habits, I spent around 6 months honing a morning routine. And I tried all kinds of stuff. I tried exercise, stretching, qigong, reading, studying, walking, all kinds of things, and all sorts of combinations until I figured out, what made me feel great and what got the most accomplished before I opened the charts. And I kept this process in a journal, and I also journaled how I felt, from an energy standpoint and emotionally before and after and between trades. I noticed, I was fatigued after an initial hour or so on the charts. So for my focus, I use binaural beats, the Pomodoro technique. And every day I started with an hour, and every day I just added more time to my sessions till I could stay at the charts longer. Eventually I could focus almost a full session, which is, way more than I planned on trading, but I wanted to overtrain intentionally. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I have great sleeping habits. I created a morning routine by looking at my concentration and trade results. And then I created this best version of me showing up to the market. So I'm like, all right, got this morning routine that's locked in. Now I can focus on trading. And this is, I'm telling it linear in conversation, but when I was doing this is all simultaneously, right? I'm trying to get all these moving parts together because it was chaos for a while. So here's an example of an entire system as a beginner. So I have my wake up time, my morning routine. I hit the charts, all in this routine. I have my principles printed out on a sheet, or the trading rules. And they're covered in plastic with a dry erase marker. So I can check all my principles before entering the market. As the trade goes, I check my management principles. Am I managing this properly? All of this is pre-thought out, right? I don't want to be emotional, reactionary, or anything while this is happening. Okay, then I have all of that process in all situations. And then I have my closing out procedures. How do I exit the trade? My principles for that. All right, the trade's over now. I log the details. And I write down a score out of my principles. So let's say, for example, I have 10 principles, 10 rules. Maybe I followed 7. Okay, 7 out of 10 on this trade. Write that down. And this is, what I was thinking about market context. When I got in the market, I'll write that down. Also journal about emotions. Oh, shoot, I was scared as hell when I took that trade. When I took this trade, my hands started to shake Got a little scared. I moved my stop loss. I was distracted because I got a text. Took the trade because someone in the Discord said they were going short, and I got FOMO. So I would, all of the information around there, I would jot that down. I'd take a picture of the trade and I'd enter it logged with the trade specifics, time, date, price, all that into my Excel or my Google sheet. Okay, done with that. Next trade, same process. Now, after my session is done, I walk away from a bit, get a snack and refresh. Then I would come back and double check the data for accuracy and maybe even a new perspective. And I'd be like, okay, here it looks like I took a trade on the 3rd, but today's the 4th. So let me go back and change where I saved this picture after I copied it. I was deep into the accuracy and details because it's important to me, right? I gave my best the same way that I would at a job. And it's a challenge for some of us to do our best for ourselves. We can wake up and go to work, not oversleep, but on our priorities, we're just not as attentive. We don't care as much. Some people never miss a end of the day report in their corporate gig, but they skip logging a trade. So I wanted to take all the skills I could muster from sports, relationships, corporate America, anything that I've learned, and I wanted to use that skill to help my trading goals. So now the day's complete. I have the trades with pictures, data, market context, and my thoughts on why I entered the trade. I have some journal entries around that morning routine before the trade, and maybe some entries around the time I entered the trade. When we do this, in the mastermind group, it just comes in the form of daily homework. So it's real easy. Also some reflection activities to turn in. And so I spend my afternoons after this reading trading books, watching trading videos, and trying to get at least 4 hours of study time. And I did that every day, Monday through Friday. Now, on Saturday, when the market was closed, I got up and reviewed all the trades that I didn't get a perfect score on. Now, not just the losers. Remember, when you first start trading, winning the wrong way is just as bad or maybe worse than losing, because it's going to create a bad habit. Breaking your rules when you win will come back and bite you hard. So if you win and it was against your rules, but you liked it, then you need to change your principles to include it. The discipline in trading is coming from the discipline to follow a plan. I think sometimes we may get discipline mixed up with, I was disciplined because I won. No, discipline is setting your plan and following it, no matter what. Only by following the plan can you improve the plan, not by doing random things, because you never know if the plan really works. So then you fix what doesn't work, but you do it because it's consistently going wrong. So now this is Saturday, right? I have all my low score trades together. And I look at the first one. I would note what rules I broke. And then I check the journal first thing. So, okay, this trade was at 9:30. Let me check the journal, see if anything was going on or off at that time. And I'd be like, okay, well, it looks like I just got off a break and barely opened the chart. So there's a great chance, I missed the context of this trade because I didn't have time to really lock in and get focused. One thing I noticed is my ability to get in tune with the market when I was new took a lot longer than it does at this point. So I needed to really come back, sit down, check the market, not rush into any trade. So things like that were super helpful. Or the journal says, at this time you checked your phone, and I look like, oh man, looks like I got started here late because of that. Oh, here it says I lost the previous trade and I was really angry and wanted to get a win. So I wrote all the rules and reasons together on Saturday. Every broken rule, any reason that was related, from the context of the market to the emotional things from my journal. And then I would do some sim trading for repetitions, and I'd call it a day. And after that, I'd likely watch more trading videos and reading, again, 4-hour minimum on top of that morning review. Now on Sunday, I would prep for next week. And this, a lot of this, I haven't been pointing it out, but most of what I'm talking about right now, I still do. And so I would look at the broken rules and the preparation data, and I'd look for what I call the first domino. The first domino is the fix that can solve more than one problem. So there may be 2 or 3 trading rules you broke, but if you had just done one thing, none of those problems would have happened. That's the first domino. So you may have did a whole bunch of things wrong because you didn't have a trend line drawn. So you traded in resistance, you counter traded too far from the EMA, all because you didn't have a trend line drawn, right? So that would be the first domino for all those problems. So once I determined the most infringed actions and rules, I would create new habits. And I'd say, okay, that worked. That workout drained me. So no AM workout tomorrow. Looks like I could have won and got a better score on a lot of these trades with this one change. It could be, trading less, trading more with the trend, whatever it is. So now I have a plan for the week. My only goal, if it was, trading with the trend, would be to trade with the trend 100% of the time next week. I have a trend rule. I broke that rule. So also here, it looks like a text was hurting me. So the phone is off until I'm done trading this week. And I'll work out in the evening to fix that problem of being tired after the workout. So now I have these changes I'm going to make, and I zone in on ensuring that the change takes place. It's easy to talk about it, but it's hard to be about it. It's hard to make these changes. And if we don't get on the action path immediately on changing our behavior, we'll never change. So I go to my phone, I put in the calendar, I'd remove the workout in the morning, right? All right, I'm going to try a walk tomorrow, right? We're going to do a morning walk, get my mind clear. So I put the reminder on the phone, put it in my schedule, and I'm going to put a reminder here that when the opening bell goes off, my phone stays off till the session's over. Okay, I'm going to solve that. Got a reminder. I won't forget. I'll put a sticky note on the computer that says, focus, trade, the trend is your friend. So I also need a sticky note that says, or just those two. Those could be 2 different sticky notes. So one says the trend is your friend. The other says focus. 2 of the things I had trouble with last week. So those are my visual prompt reminders to change. All my change comes in 3 steps, and I definitely would suggest this. So we have the action step, the visual reminder, and then we have something for the mental, the subconscious aspect. So I got these sticky notes letting me know, prompting it so I can see them. Now I need an action step. So I'm going to check and redraw my trend lines every 5 bars. I'm not going to wait until I see the trend. I was late last week, way off on the trend. So every 5 bars, I'm going to check. Is this a trend? Is this a trend? I'm going to rewrite it. Now, I usually right click the menu and put add trend, but now I'm going to make a hotkey. So I'm going to put add hotkey T. Okay, so I can get my trend up super fast. I have the visual prompt, and now I have this action step. So I see the sticky notes, and now I know that every 5 bars, I'm taking action, right? So I'm really trying to hammer in this improvement. So this visual rule is really going to help me adhere to last week's broken rules. But now I need to adhere this, or I need to implant this into my mindset. And this is where I refer to any habit changing book, right? And I usually go through the one that I built the mastermind group off of, the My Best Interest Trading. It include cybernetics, meditations. If I needed to, I would go to a website for self-hypnosis, anything I could do to get a mental practice for the habit that I needed that next week to see myself mentally taking that action. I was trying to ingrain the action in my subconscious. And so I would do that mental exercise as part of my pre-market routine. So I have the visual prompt, the action step. I'm going to be doing it, setting it up to be doing it actually. And then I'm going to have this every day, this visual exercise to ingrain this activity. So I'm really focused on all aspects of change. And I eliminated one issue at a time. And some issues took 2, 3, 4 weeks of focus, but I didn't, go to anything else. I stayed on that one issue. And if we don't focus on cleaning up the one thing that's the hurdle in front of us, we're always going to default to, I just need to win more. And we're going to be running from these problems. We'll never become detached. You'll never have the data to show that you're improving, and you'll never reach a certain level of confidence. You'll hear traders say, oh, trading's so boring. It's boring because you've hacked down a process and a system that's like pushing a button in a factory or something, right? It becomes a little mundane. On top of all that, I always had the larger level thing. So reading at least one trading book a month and get that finished. And usually I take on, 4 or more books a month. But I'm in this new field, this new craft. So I really want to read and reread these books. So I'm taking my time. Also a trading webinar a month, one live event a year, things like that, just on outside of that for cultivating growth. And this is how I set up my system to improve, right? This is the foundation of the mastermind group and how I help others improve. Another benefit of growing with others is accountability, and folks making sure that you get it done when you don't want to. I'm really self-motivated. If I have to get it done, no matter if there are 5 people watching or, I'm alone in the desert or on Mars, I'm going to get it done. But I understand that accountability and not wanting to let others down and that dedication to a group can be huge. I understand that. So look, you have to create what works for you. I'm sharing this hoping that you can take parts and pieces like I did to make a system that you plug into that makes improvement the main and the only focus. Focus on getting better and your success is inevitable. I know if you continue to improve and never quit, that you'll get where you want to be. And I want that for you. And I know you can do it. I'll talk to you in the next episode.